Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit of a late update for my 20 favorites in 2020 project pan. This is a collaborative project pan that was started by Denise at Just Some Makeup Pans over on Instagram. Definitely go and give her a follow and check her out if you haven't yet already. And while you're over on Instagram, you should definitely check out the hashtag 20 favorites in 2020 so you can find all the posts related to this project pan as well. I've been loving following that hashtag this year, and I bet that you would too if you are interested in this kind of content. And if you want to see more videos like this, definitely check out the playlist. It is a community playlist that includes all of the creators doing this project here on YouTube as well, and I have been loving keeping up with everybody's videos in this series, and I think that you would as well. Now, before we get into it, I do want to say that I have been kind of struggling with this project throughout this year, and that has been a theme of all of my updates. I do have some reflections to share with you on all of my products, but I do want to just say that next update, which will be in 2 months' time, the beginning of December, I am going to be wrapping up this project. I don't want to do this project right through till the end of this year, and I don't want to leave my update for 3 full months. I do want to keep with my every 2 month schedule that I've been doing over the past few updates. So I am going to wrap up this project. Next update, that will be my finale at the beginning of December. So it has been 2 months since my last update of this project, actually just over 2 months since my last update of this project. And yeah, I want to share with you all of my progress on the products that I've been focusing on and let you know some thoughts on all of the products that I have picked out. So why don't we just hop into my progress, because I feel like I'm just in a mood to like ramble, but I also can't find my words. So this might be a bit of a struggle. Let's get through it together. So the first item I want to talk about, I am so thankful I finally hit my freaking goal on this. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I hit a little bit of pan only a couple days ago, and I cannot believe that it's taken me so long to hit pan on this. I've been working on this since the very beginning of this project, which I started this January 1st. So it's been 9 whole months of using this product, and I finally hit the teensiest bit of pan on it. I don't know why it's taking me so long. I have been using this all the time. I've been using this so much. I've reached for this more than any other bronzer, probably even more than any other complexion product in general in my collection this year, and I finally hit pan on it. I think I've just been a little bit more light-handed with my makeup application than I was in years prior, because I've not been preferring a very full coverage kind of look. I do like my skin to look like skin, so perhaps that is a bit of a reason why I have taken so long, but it doesn't matter. I'm just so happy I finally hit pan on it. I'm really happy to be able to sit down and tell you guys that my goal has finally been hit on this. I am going to be rolling it out of this project. I'm not going to be focusing on it for the next 2 months of this project, and I won't be updating you on what it looks like. However, I am very motivated to get this used up and out of my collection during 2021, so you may be seeing it in a future project pan. Who's to say what the future holds? That is the lesson of 2020, just in general. Who knows what the future holds? But I am so happy, so happy that I finally hit my goal on that one. And I did hit my goal on one other product, guys. I'm so excited. This is very bittersweet though. This is the Colourpop Lux Lipstick in the shade Tiptoe. It is fully flush with the packaging, as you can see. So that right there is that plastic little rim. I have completely used up every accessible part right till there. So when it comes to my markings, this means that it's like an empty product. However, I'm not considering it an actual empty, so it's done for this project and it won't be updated in my next update or the finale, I suppose. But I am going to keep using this and keep reaching for it. I'm going to use a lip brush to pull the product out of here and to get the use out of whatever remains in here. I sing its praises every single one of these updates because it's the like perfect nude on me all year round. I love the way that this looks. I love the way that this feels. I am wearing it today and I adore it. I am wearing actually this on top of it. This is the Bite Beauty French Press Lip Gloss in the shade Flat White on top of it. I love this combo also. But that's part of the reason why I don't want to consider this an empty, but also because I am going to, I have intentions to properly try to recycle all of my makeup for the foreseeable future. Like indefinitely, I would love to properly recycle my makeup packaging. So it does need to be completely cleaned out, or as best as possible cleaned out. So why not use the product while I clean it out? Do you know what I mean? I'd love to use it because I do love this product, and unfortunately it's discontinued. I can't repurchase it. So I want to savor it while I still have it in my life, and yeah, I'll clean it out while using it, and I don't think it'll be empty by the end of 2020. I think I'm going to kind of like set it aside and utilize it whenever I feel inclined to reach for this, but I do want to get some use out of my other nude lipsticks and other nude lip products from my collection for the remainder of this year. But I am so proud and I'm so happy, and I'm also so sad that I have finally hit my goal on this, because this is just an absolute favorite of mine, and it just belonged in this project. It's just so good, so good. And here's a swatch of it, just so you can see what it looks like. Oh gosh, it's really difficult to swatch it, but here's a swatch of it, so you can see what it looks like without a gloss. It's just perfection for me. Like, this color is like a slightly cool toned, slightly mauvey, slightly brown kind of shade. It is just so good. I really wish that it was still available. It kind of irks me and upsets me, but Colourpop is like notorious for discontinuing only the best products, really. This next lip product I've also been focusing on all year, and I've not been doing so great with it. So this is the Kapari Lip Glossy in the shade Hibiskiss. This is a beautiful, beautiful raspberry toned, like tinted, it's gloppy. Gloppy? Gloopy? Gloopy is the word. It is a beautiful sheer, like tinted lip balm, and I love it. I love the way it feels on my lips. I love the color and I love the performance of it. But I have been neglecting this year, and I don't know why that is. It's just not been something that I've been reaching for over 2020. And last update, I did set myself a goal to reach for this 10 times between updates, and I'm really happy that I did decide to do that, because I did reach for it actually 11 times this past update period, so over the past 2 months. And honestly, that's the most that I've reached for it between updates probably all year long. And I know 10 uses isn't even that many, but I'm really, really happy. I used it 11 times. I mean, I wore it 11 instances, so realistically, I did wear it more often than, I reapplied it more than 11 times, but 11 different times I wore it on my face. Sometimes I wore it with no other makeup. I really do think that it just brings a lot of life to my face. And that's kind of how I thought I was gonna reach for it over the course of this year, and somehow it just was something that I neglected. But through reaching for it for the past couple months, I did end up making a little bit of progress, some notable progress, which I'm really happy about. I am happy to finally see some movement on this product. And I'm also working on another lip product in this project. This I did roll in, I think, maybe April or so. This is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Lip in the shade Bear With Me. This is a gorgeous, like rosy coral kind of shade. Absolutely beautiful color, but the theme of this project is I have been kind of neglecting it. I've been forgetting to reach for it, and I just don't think it's something I want to wear in the winter months. It's just not my preference. So as you can see, that is a very beautiful color, but it is, in my opinion, a little bit more summery, a little bit more like fresh. It looks really good when my skin has more of a tan, but I've just been forgetting to reach for it, and it's not something that I prefer to wear at this time of year. So for the next couple months, I do want to remember to try to reach for this. I think what I'll try to do is use this as a cream blush again. I was loving it in like the late spring, early summer as a cream blush. And in recent months, I have been neglecting it and forgetting to reach for it that way, but it is absolutely beautiful on the cheeks. Like, this color, this formula is very comfortable on the cheeks and long wearing on the cheeks, and this color itself is beautiful on my complexion. I really, really think that this brings a lot of life to my skin, but I've just been forgetting. That's the theme of this damn project, and I think that for me personally, this year-long project style, having large goals, like hefty goals of using something up entirely, it just doesn't work for me because then I just end up forgetting about products because I am also doing some smaller seasonal project pans, and because those deadlines are sooner, I just tend to reach for the things that are in those shorter term project pans because I'm like, well, I have all year to focus on that, or I've been using it all year, I'm kind of bored of it. So I think for future year-long project pans, I'm gonna set myself like usage goals or something along those lines so that I don't feel like I'm not making progress every month. But as long as I have usage goals and I'm maintaining those, then that seems much more manageable for me. This next product is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. I have mine in the shade light to medium, or the range light to medium. I am working on trying to hit pan on the bronzing side, and I've not yet done that. I haven't reached for it a ton between updates, not going to lie, because this shade isn't my preferred shade when I have my most tan skin. I really didn't love the way that it looked on my skin as of late, but I am losing my tan for sure, and over the next 2 months, I do see myself being able to use this more frequently and a little bit more liberally as well. So I will be able to not necessarily hit my goal, but I will be able to reach for this much more frequently so we can at least see a difference in the weight. But I'm really, really hoping to be able to hit pan on this by the next update. There is a decent dip happening in there. I think you can see from there even. There's a decent dip. There's definitely progress happening on it. It would be really nice to see pan happen on both sides of this compact by the end of this year, but I do need to be realistic with myself and kind to myself and understand that the way I'm using makeup this year is just so different than years prior, and the amount of times that I'm wearing makeup has definitely minimized over this year. So I'm not sure that it will happen, but I am going to definitely try to reach for it and make note of making sure that this is something I am prioritizing. It might happen. It just might happen, and if it doesn't, it's okay too. The same sort of sentiment goes for this right here. This is the Wet n Wild highlighting powder in the shade Precious Petals. I've been trying so hard to get this used up this year. As you can see, there is so much pan in this thing. Like, there's a ton of pan, and I'm really impressed and I'm really happy and I'm very proud of myself for the amount of progress I have made, but I don't know that I will get this done in the next 2 months. It's possible, but it's not probable. You know what I mean? Based on how much I'm able to use month to month recently, I don't know that I'll be able to finish this up entirely by the finale, but it is possible I will be able to finish it up by the end of this year, and that is really something I would like to do. I want to get this moved out of my collection. I want to move on to be able to use other highlighters in my collection more frequently, and I'm ready. I'm ready to get this out of my life. I am so ready to get this out of my life, and I am working really hard to do that. I am wearing this today, actually. I applied it very sheer compared to how I have been as of late, because I feel like nowadays, now that I am losing my tan, this is really very apparent on my skin, and it can be a little bit too deep on my skin, so I do have to go a little bit more light-handed than I did in the summer months. I also don't have my shoulders out anymore these days, so I can't really apply it to my body, but progress has been really, really impressive. I'm really, really happy with where this stands, and I'm hoping to see some decent panage by the finale. Next up, let's chat about my Cover FX Shimmer Veil in the shade Amethyst. This is such a beautiful, beautiful liquid shadow. I have sung its praises all throughout 2020. There is a swatch of it right there. It definitely is starting to come out much more sheer and much more dry than it was in previous months of this project. I did actually take out the stopper to kind of swivel the product around because I was finding that my product was either up at the top of the tube or down at the bottom, but not here in the middle. So I used my makeup spatula to kind of move around the product and get it towards the center of the tube again. And then I popped back in the stopper to make sure that it doesn't dry out and that I don't get too much product. However, it is still, just because of how long I've owned this, it is starting to dry out a little bit. But I'm really happy with the amount of progress I have made over this year. It is very substantial and it has been really, really good. This won't be finished up. That was my goal with this. I'm okay with it. I'm accepting that the fact that I won't be able to finish that initial goal, but I am really able to recognize that I have made really great progress and I will continue to make really great progress. I love this dang thing. So I'm happy that I've used it as much as I possibly could over this year, and it has been a dream to use and to work with, and I've been enjoying it. So I have to be happy about that for sure. And in addition to that liquid shadow, I've also been focusing on 2 Super Shock shadows by Colourpop this year. This first one is the shade Lala, which is a beautiful coppery shade. And I've made really great progress through this year. Again, you can see it is not going to be finished up by the finale of this project, but you can see, like, I have used a lot of this product. It's looking good. It's really looking loved. And I've been absolutely loving integrating this into looks. It is such a beautiful, beautiful warm tone coppery shade. Let me do a swatch of it for you. And yeah, the goal of finishing it up is just not gonna happen for me, but I've been really, really happy to reach for it and prioritize it this year. Look at that beautiful, beautiful shadow. And it's something that I think I will roll into a project next year and hopefully be able to finish up, but who knows? Who knows? Panning is looking very different these days. And then the other shade is Hanky Panky, which is again by Colourpop. This is a like cool toned, light transition sort of shade for me. I am wearing it today in my crease and on my lower lash line, and I do love this shadow. I think it's a really nice kind of starter shade for cool tone looks. I'm trying to figure out where to swatch it. Can you even see a swatch of it? I did kind of have to smush it around last update, so it has kind of refilled out the pan. But I've used so much of this year, and I'm really, really happy with the amount of progress and usage that I've gotten out of it. I do think this is something I may declutter by the end of this year because it's not performing like it once was. It's kind of become a little bit more dry, and it's just not as creamy. The Colourpop Super Shock shadows in the matte formula I find don't last near as long as the metallics do. This has been something I've been reaching for frequently, and I'm happy to be prioritizing. And one last eye product that I'm working on is this one by Annabelle. This is the Waterline Matte in the shade Mint. I wanted to finish this up at the beginning of this year, which was just ridiculous of me. But I have set myself a new goal of using up until the end of the E here in the word matte. So I do think that's something I'll be able to do by the finale of this project. I am wearing it today in my waterline. I wear it oftentimes in my waterline, and I just love the way that it adds some color and brightness to any look. It's so beautiful. I have so much fun with this product. It's still an absolute favorite, so I'm happy that it reigns true as a favorite in this project pan. This next product is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer. This is a really great smoothing and like pore filling kind of primer. I'm really happy I've been reaching for it a lot this year because I feel like it looks really nice on my skin, and it makes my skin look nice and smooth without feeling like tight or heavy or anything. It's great. It works with every single complexion product I put on top of it as well. And I've made amazing progress through this year. When I look back, I feel like from month to month I'm not doing that great, but I have made so much progress on this. I started down here at the beginning of this year, and I'm now up to this point. I've used so much of this. I'm so happy about this. And over the past 2 months, I've used a decent amount of product. Maybe not as much as I would like to see from month to month, or between updates rather, from every 2 months, but still, I've made decent progress, so I can't complain. By my next update, I'll probably be about here, and this is something that I do think I'll be able to get out of my collection for early 2021, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy to still be making great progress on it, but my goal of finishing it up just isn't gonna happen for me. My makeup usage is just, it's not the same. And then the very final product that is in this project is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. If you're looking for a concealer that will never die, this is the one for you, because I have been using this like religiously this year. I've been using it over all my other concealers, and I haven't been able to use up any other concealers in my collection because I've been focusing on this one, and I don't know why it just never ends. I mean, this is very substantial. This is 15 mils of product, which is half a foundation. So, I mean, there is a lot of product in here, but I would have thought that I'd be able to finish it up this year because I think last year I finished up like 3 or 4 concealers, maybe even more concealers for my collection, which equated to more than 15 mils of product, I would assume. But in any case, it doesn't matter. I am making really good progress on this. In fact, there is actually some visibility happening in the tube now, finally. I think in the coming months, I'm gonna try to use this a little bit more frequently as a full-on foundation, not just as a concealer, and today I did decide to wear it like that. I did have to mix it with my First Aid Beauty like deeper concealer that I have in order to get the right shade for this. And then I also mixed it with the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow Primer to not make it feel so matte or so full coverage, to give it a little bit more of a luminous finish. And I actually really like the way that it looks on my skin, but I would admit it's not my favorite type of coverage these days. I do prefer something a little bit more sheer, but it is nice to change things up and to use it in a different way and to see some more progress happen on it. And I have been so not used to seeing myself in fuller coverage foundations that it is kind of nice to see a more perfected kind of base on my skin, just for something different. So I have been really happy to be using this, but dang, I'm kind of shocked that this is not done at this point because I've worn it so much this year. Every time that I wear eyeshadow, this has basically been the primer that I've been reaching for, and I've been wearing this under my eyes pretty much most days that I've put on makeup this year. Even some days when I'm not wearing any other makeup, I've just been wearing this as like something to just brighten up under my eyes and add a little bit more of like a perfected look to my face, and it still is not moving. It is bonkers, but either way, I am happy to be making some progress on it, and I know that I will have it done in 2021 regardless, so that's okay. It'll get used up eventually. But that is everything for today's update. I know kind of a boring one perhaps, but there was some notable changes to some of the products that I put into this project, and I am definitely ready to wrap up this project by the finale, that is for sure. But either way, I am going to be making some more progress in the coming months, and hopefully we will see some goals hit. I don't know, maybe we'll see some goals hit for the finale, but that is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone!